So today we'll be solving about remove duplicates from a sorted array. Basically, it is a sorted array called norms here, and we have to remove the duplicates in place such that each element appears only once and returns the new length. So the main task is here to do not allocate any extra space. You must do this by modifying the input array in place with big of 1 extra memory, that is big of 1. So here to solve this problem we use the two pointer method. Also we have many more built-in functions of javascript which you can use to which you can use to remove the duplicates. Similarly, we have one is for filter method, for each method, set new object method, and map method, and many more. You can try check it after the tutorial. So let us go through the solution steps to understand how we gonna solve this or approach this problem for the final touch. So first is we check the array. If it is equals to empty, we return it 0. And second is declare two pointers, that is I and j. In my case you can name it any, and set them to 0 and 1 respectively, that is for I is equals to 0 and j is equals to 1. Use a while loop to check if the number with the index j is equals to number with the index of I, right? And if not equals, increment I by 1 and copy the value of the number with the index j to the element at the index of I, and then increment j by 1. If found equal, increment j to skip the duplicate. So after the loop finishes, return the length of the unique numbers which is equals to the I plus 1. So let us go through the implementation. So we are given a variable remove duplicates is equals to function norms. Yeah, and now let's go through the final task. So we have our first condition, check if the number is equals to empty or not. So for this we use cast sorry so for this we will check if norms, right? Norms dot length is equals to 0, and if found 0, return 0. So this satisfies our first step. So if norms dot length is equals to 0, return 0. And then we have our second step, that declare two pointers and set them to 0 and 1 respectively. So we declare two pointers, let I is equals to 0 for the first, and let j is equals to 1 for the second, as we have declared. And now we'll go through the third step, and we use a while loop to check if the number with the index j is equals to the number of index of I. So while j is less than norms dot norms dot length, right? If while j is less than norms dot length, if we check if j or norms of now if norms of j is not equals to not equals to norms of I, right? If norms of j is not equals to the norms of I, we increment I, right? We increment I and assign norms of I with the norms of j, norms of j. So this is just an assigning. I figure it out. Okay, so we if norms of j is not equals to the norms of I, we increment I and assign the value of j to the norms of I, right? So if this is the case, then we assign it and we increment now j. Otherwise else, if the condition doesn't satisfy, if the condition satisfy, that is if j is equals to I, we increment j plus plus. So and now if everything is okay, return I plus 1 as the final task, step number 6. And let us run the code, and it should be accepted. So as you can see, the code is accepted now, and you can finally submit it too. Thank you for being here.